Katt went back and forth with him for days. I was there at the house in Moreno Del Rey. It was tense. He was wearing Kevlar every day. Guns were everywhere in the house. Preparing for infiltration.
So it looks like Katt Williams might be in serious trouble because word on the street is that Katt Williams has gone into hiding after escaping an assassination attempt, and sources close to Katt revealed he went into hiding without telling anyone where he was going, nor did he leave with his gadgets. So who is after Katt Williams' life? Apart from being one of the most successful comedians in Hollywood, over the years, Katt has built a reputation for not compromising on his standards, standing by the truth, and exposing the evil side of Hollywood. With the amount of information Katt spills, I think a part of us know there would be a time where the evils he was fighting was going to fight back, and they were going to try to take him out. For those that might not be aware, Katt had been battling the evil side of Hollywood for way long before he sat down with Shannon Sharpe for The Club. Shay Shay interview, Katt himself said that the Illuminati ruined his career because he was always speaking on them.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
Kevin decided to come for Katt out of the blue, and in an interview that he did on The Breakfast Club, he accused Katt of lying, claiming that Katt is an addict who can't stay clean, and that's why his career never really blew up. It's kind of interesting how the industry is always quick to accuse truth tellers of being on substances or being crazy, isn't it? Well, the battle line was drawn between Katt and Kevin, and they've been ops since then. Katt continued doing his thing, selling out arenas until a few months ago when he set the internet into a frenzy when he was a guest on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay, where he told the story of how Diddy tried to put moves on him for a very long time. Katt claimed that Diddy tried to seduce him for years and get him in his bed, and when that didn't work, he then threw his money around and offered him $50 million.
Had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need to know. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's no news that Katt hates sexual predators, and Diddy was not the only one he exposed, as he claimed. One of the reasons he got canceled was because before the whole Weinstein case blew up, he tried exposing him and also claimed Weinstein tried to give him fellatio in the front of everyone in his agency.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do?
Katt came prepared for the interview, and after exposing people in the music and movie industry, he also exposed the comedy part of Hollywood. He accused Steve of a lot of interesting things, like stealing his jokes for years and then turning up years later to pass the jokes off as his own.
The reason you were supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was going to be called the Kings of Comedy. It was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you got to close if it's your tour. That's why it was such a big deal. But you couldn't do it because you can't beat the best. And until you humble yourself, you will forever be kinged by the king. And because you finally did it, because you had no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did.
Katt even claimed that Steve would pretend to attend his shows to support him, but in reality, he was just there to see how many of Katt's jokes he could steal and get away with. But that wasn't all, because Katt also spilled about how Steve has been lying to fans for a long time with his grass to grace story. Now, I know that Steve wasn't always rich, but Katt claimed that Steve took it a little too far with the story of how he was living in his car and sleeping in parking lots because he was too broke to afford a place to live.
I used to spend the night in hotel parking lots. What was I gonna do? I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I lived in the car. I had $35. And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this.
This is a story that Steven has told more times than I can count because he just can't seem to stop talking about it. I get it, it's a motivational story, but Katt called Steve out for BSing on this, saying that Steve never had to live in his car.
Like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her, then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history.
Katt didn't stop with Steve Harvey. As he finally had the chance to take his revenge on Kevin Hart, he dragged Kevin, saying that he is an industry plant who has had a suspicious rise to fame. He pointed out how Kevin rose to fame immediately after entering Hollywood and never had an organic growth.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Katt even clowned Kevin for taking his leftovers, saying that most of the roles that Kevin got were roles that were first offered to him, but he had to turn them down because they involved some sort of humiliation, like asking him to put on a dress or something like that.
For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem, and then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it.
Katt also highlighted instances where Kevin allegedly compromised his standards, like the time he gave in to wearing a dress after swearing never to.
Then you would understand that part. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision, duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
So you see, Katt has made a lot of enemies in the last couple of months. Not only has he made enemies with his fellow celebrities, but he is hated by the people who control power. Then a few days after his Netflix special aired, inside sources reported that Katt survived 2 assassination attempts and he has gone into hiding. The source claimed Katt left his devices at home because he didn't know who to trust. Sources close to Jaguar Wright revealed that Jaguar was not surprised that people were after Katt's life, as they claimed this was not the first time this was happening to him. She talked about when he used to wear Kevlar to bed with guns all around because he allegedly threatened to beat the CEO of Comedy Central.
I was with Katt when the Illuminati first turned on him. It was a very difficult time. That fucking Flavor Flav roast. That's where it all started. See, Micah refused, and when I say Micah, I mean Katt Williams. He refused to humiliate Flavor Flav for the roast on Comedy Central. He agreed to rewrite, him and his entire team, rewrite the jokes, make it funny. You know, they would make it a roast, but he wasn't going to treat a black man like a nigga for the purposes of views. Katt went back and forth with him for days. I was there at the house in Marino Del Rey. It was tense. He was wearing Kevlar every day. Guns were everywhere in the house. Preparing for infiltration.
We had Dr.
Threatened, the day he threatened to beat the shit out of the CEO of Comedy Central, we all knew it was about to get rough.
The source claimed that Jaguar Wright said this was what Katt was willing to pay for saying, and standing by the truth, she claims Katt would be fine and he would be back on our screens in no time. News of Katt Williams missing had fans talking, and they left comments saying Katt Williams gets killed, then we know who is responsible. Please, God, keep him safe. He's taking the fight to them, and we need to back Katt Williams and take the power from the wicked and give it back to the gifted. The Almighty Father will send his holy angels to protect Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright in the name of Jesus. Look, that's why we must protect Katt. Katt is our eyes and ears. Please don't let anything happen to Katt. So do you think the Illuminati are trying to get Katt unalived? Or do you think he's selling this story just to promote his new Netflix special? Let me know what you think in the comments then. Check out this next video.